Alright, welcome back everybody. My name is Nathan or ELEMENTofFROST, and welcome back to yet another episode prediction video for this week's upcoming episode of The Walking Dead. That is right everybody, this week's upcoming episode is Season 6, Episode 5, entitled Now. Alright, so, now, as always, there's gonna be spoilers. So if you guys haven't caught up to Season 6, Episode 4, entitled Here's Not Here, do not watch this video, guys. Go catch up, then come back, see my predictions. I don't know why you'd be seeing predictions for the next week's episode if you guys obviously have not caught up on the last ones. Anyway, Season 6, Episode 5, entitled Now. As always, we're going to start off with a synopsis, briefly go over what I think is going to happen, and then go into detail about the promo and the one sneak peek that we have. And as always, the sneak peek in the promo, the links will be down in the description below if you guys want to go check those out. The promo is about 30 seconds long. And the sneak peeks, I think, about a minute long, if I do recall correctly. But the sneak peek and the promo, definitely both pretty cool. Definitely both pretty cool. So anyway, Season 6, Episode 5, now. The synopsis goes as follows, guys. This is on AMC.com. It's a very short one, but trouble is outside and outside... so trouble is inside and outside the gate, excuse me. I don't know why I struggled so hard to fucking... say that. So trouble is inside and outside the gate. All right, that was pretty simple. That took a lot longer than it should have to actually say that. Anyway, that's the synopsis, guys. So from that synopsis right off the bat, I think we get to know that we're probably going to see the starting of the herd hitting Alexandria. As we all know from like the previous episodes of The Walking Dead, more specifically Episode 3, obviously at the end when the horde was coming through the forest, and we obviously seen Rick in the RV, he was having trouble starting it and stuff like that. We know that the herd is coming. You know, it's getting close. Rick was around where one of the checkpoints were and stuff like that when they were building it for the, leading the herd away and stuff like that. So he's not that far away from Alexandria, we can assume. So yeah, it doesn't look good, man. There's an entire horde coming through the forest, and shit is gonna get crazy. So trouble is inside and outside the gate. Now, inside the gate, I would assume that it could be walkers, but at the same time, inside the gate could be sort of people in there struggling with the idea of survival. You know what I mean? Like, it could kind of be their own trouble, if you know what I mean. I could be completely wrong, and it actually could be an attack. Who really knows? We're not going to find that out obviously until Wednesday. Because inside the gate, actually, we didn't really get to see any walkers attack in the promo or the sneak peek. We got to see some things, but we did not see walkers attack. Now we've seen remnants of maybe something obviously happening, but inside the gate, I believe. Is like the people of Alexandria, they're still kind of getting over the fact that they were attacked by the wolves and stuff like that in Episode 2, I believe. Yeah, Episode 2, they were attacked by the wolves. Maybe people are still struggling with the idea of, that's how the world is, something like that. That could be trouble, in a way. And then it could evolve into walkers, or that could, they could just defend it from the outside. Who really knows? But outside the gate, well, outside the gate, it's a different story, guys. Outside the gate, there's obviously trouble everywhere. There's a herd of walkers coming. Michonne and them are surviving. They're trying to get back home, stuff like that. Rick, obviously, he's in trouble, from the horde just outside his RV. He can't start his RV. Hopefully, he will be able to. Obviously, there's still trouble with, Daryl and Sasha and Abraham leading that horde away. We got to think eventually they'll start hitting back after, they've obviously gotten far enough away from Alexandria. They're most likely going to start hitting back. So yeah, that's probably trouble outside the gate. Whether or not there's still more wolves around, my best guess would be yes. There's definitely still more wolves around. We have yet to meet the leader of the wolves. If you guys know in the comic books, I don't remember his name from the comic books, but he's a bald guy, and he's a psycho. And I feel like we're going to meet him soon. Again, maybe that could be like trouble outside the gate and then leading inside the gate, stuff like that. We just don't know. But so anyway, to briefly go over the promo, guys, we get to see a lot of Jesse, and I'm actually really excited for it. Jesse, obviously the character, the wife of Pete, the asshole that obviously died last season. At the end of last season, he was the one that beat his wife, Jesse. She has 2 kids, obviously. Ron, which isn't a big fan of Rick or anybody in that group to begin with. we get to see a lot of her and sort of evolve in a way. Obviously, in episode 2, we get to see Jessie sort of, like I said, evolve into a survivor in a way. You know, she had to do what she had to do. Obviously, the wolf woman or whatever was in her house, and obviously she just went absolutely crazy on her, stabbed her with scissors multiple times. And I don't know, it looks like she's evolving into a survivor. You know, it looks like she's, you know, starting to trust Rick and everybody like that, and just kind of see it from their perspective that this is what the world has evolved into. And I'm definitely glad about that, because I do like Jessie as a character, and if she's like a version of a character that we see in the comic book, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil anything if it could happen or anything like that, but if she's a version of what happened in the comic book, we're gonna get to like her, but at the same time, if she does, or not really if she does, but if something happens that happens in the comic book, we're probably not going to like her for too much longer, but I'm hoping that honestly doesn't happen. Basically, I'm talking about, I'll just put it like this. Rick and her had a love affair, sort of, not really an affair, but you know what I mean. They had something going on, and one thing led to another, and someone got injured, and they kind of blame the other. I'm just going to shut up. I don't want to say anything, because I don't want to spoil anybody, or spoil anything for anybody. Obviously, this could be a future episode. I don't know. I haven't seen The Walking Dead or anything like that, so it's not an outright spoiler, but if it turns out to be true, you know, it'll kind of ruin the surprise, the shocker, if you will. So I don't want to say anything, but that's that. Anyway, I hope that she sort of becomes even more of a survivor than she is already. And judging by the promo, it really looks like she does. You know, she's sort of... It looks like she's sort of stepping up and talking to maybe her neighbors, you know, things like that. Maybe her son, Ron, trying to get that through to him. Basically saying, you know, if you don't fight, you die. And that's exactly how it is right now. You know, if you don't fight back, you die. Basically, you know, probably looking back to when, obviously, she had to kill the wolf. The woman wolf that was in her kitchen, you know, threatening her family. If you don't fight, you die. If she didn't fight, that wolf woman would have killed her, would have murdered her, then she obviously would have murdered her son Ron that just came in the house, and then she would have went upstairs and most likely murdered her, you know, her little kid, her little son. I don't remember what his name is right off the bat, so I do apologize for that, but if you don't fight, you die, and it looks like she's sort of stepping up in this promo, so like I said before, if you guys want to check it out, definitely go do so. Yeah, we get to see a lot of things sort of going on in the promo, like, it looks to me like I was about to say Terminus. Looks to me like the Alexandrians are sort of cleaning up after their mess. Obviously, since episode 2, we didn't really get to see anybody from Alexandria. We didn't actually get to see like the footage of Alexandria or anything like that, because obviously episode 3, that was sort of Rick's group, you know, getting back into the things. We actually got to see Rick, and then obviously Glenn and Nick went off on their own, and that went and led into the whole debacle. Is Glenn dead or is he still alive? And I've already put up a discussion video about that, so if you guys want to check that out, definitely go do so. I do these little mini discussion videos every now and then when there's something really, really important to talk about and I feel like it deserves its own video. I will do an episode discussion video, so definitely, yeah, definitely hit that up with a like. Go check that out. I worked pretty hard on that. To kind of give everybody some theories of why he could be still alive, why he could be dead, you know, stuff like that, just kind of generally talking about it. But anyway, leading on more into the promo, like I said, shit looks to be going on. It looks like they're cleaning up after their mess. It doesn't look too serious, but at the same time, I think it's about to get serious. Whether or not we're going to see it in this episode, I sure as hell hope so. I hope they don't drag it on for too much longer with the whole horde thing. You know, because it has been going on for a while, so hopefully it finally sort of clashes in this episode, which I believe it will, judging by what we've seen in the promo. Or not in the promo, the sneak peek rather. So that's pretty much it for the promo. Like I said, we get to see a bunch of characters, Aaron, you know, stuff like that, Carl, obviously Jessie cleaning up. She's at a burial site, actually digging graves, probably for the woman that she killed. She probably feels bad. She probably has some regret. Obviously, it's the first person she killed, so, I mean, you know, there's something going to be there, but it does look like she's evolving, which, like I said before, I'm very, very excited about. And then we also get to see, again, Aaron talking to Maggie in what looks to be the armory. Maggie's sort of gearing up. What for? Well, in the promo, or in the sneak peek, we get to kind of see, most likely, what for she's gearing up and why she's going to actually go out there. But Aaron basically talks to her, I can't let you do this. And she straps basically the gun around her and basically says, you can't stop me, stuff like that. We don't really get to see why she's going out in that promo, but like I said, in the sneak peek, we definitely do. So that leads us on to the sneak peek, so let's get into that. So right off the bat, in the sneak peek, guys, we actually get to see a lot of the leader of Alexandria. My mind drew a complete blank there for a moment, guys. Yeah, the leader of Alexandria. I forget her name. I don't remember her name. What is her name? Yeah, I think it's Deanna. That's it, right? It's Douglas in the comic, and it's Deanna. Sorry, guys. Complete brain fart. So yeah. Deanna. We get to see a lot of Deanna. She's actually up on a tower sort of thing, maybe a guard tower, or she could just be up on the wall, where people actually, took guard and stuff like that. They kind of man the wall. Like we seen in episode 2 where the guy got Molotoved off the wall, which was pretty insane, by the way. I just want to throw that out. Anyway, we get to see her up on the wall, and she actually sees her husband's name, Reg, basically etched into the wall. She kind of sits there, and you can tell that she's like really deeply thinking about it, stuff like that. Probably, obviously, she misses him. It's not probably, she definitely misses him and stuff like that. So she's sort of just, just kind of reminiscing, I guess, up there. Maybe that was a place where they went at the start of the apocalypse or something, and they kind of just, did that. Maybe, who knows? Who knows what she's doing up there? But anyway, in the background, if you really hear in, we actually get to hear Michonne talking. We don't know who she's talking to until Deanna turns around, and it's Michonne actually talking to Maggie, along with some other people there as well. So we actually get to see Michonne talking to Maggie, so we obviously know that Michonne obviously makes it back. At the end of episode 3, we saw him approaching the Alexandria gates anyway, so we know that she does anyway. But we finally get to see that she makes it back and is talking to Maggie, basically saying, I don't know what happened to Glenn. I don't know, where he is or anything like that. Basically explaining to Maggie that he had this idea that, lighting a fire in a house, or lighting a building up, rather, would basically lead the herd of walkers away and possibly get them away from Alexandria. That was his idea. And, she told Maggie as well, if you guys remember back in episode 3, Glenn basically said, if we get stuck, this is my plan. If we get stuck, I will find a way to send a signal, obviously, if I'm still alive. So yeah, that's that. So we get to find out that Glenn hopefully will send a signal sometime soon. We just don't know. And then obviously that leading into the promo where Maggie is obviously gearing up and, obviously getting ready to go out and actually search for her husband. What any sibling, or not sibling rather, but what any spouse, I guess you would say, would do for the other. You know what I'm saying? If they got, completely stuck and you didn't know if they were alive, you didn't know if they were dead, you're gonna want to go find out, basically. You know what I'm saying? Especially after Glenn, he tried to go light a building on fire and actually tried to do it, and actually try to save the day. He risked his life for it. You're gonna want to find out. So hopefully someone goes with Maggie. I'm hoping Aaron does, or somebody. At least somebody. I hope she doesn't just go alone. I hope that's not going to be a thing. Because it could be pretty dangerous if she goes alone. It really could, with the wolves being out there and, stuff like that. It could be pretty dangerous. So, yeah. That's that, guys. That's the sneak peek. We obviously, like I said, we get to see, Michonne talking to Maggie, telling her about Glenn. And then obviously in the promo, that leading to her gearing up. And then at the end of the sneak peek, we actually get to hear off in the distance Rick yelling, "Open the gate." That's what we get to hear. So we get to hear him off in the distance, basically, open the gate. So we obviously know that Rick, at some point, makes it back home as well. We don't know what happened to him. Did he start the RV? Did he just make a dash out of the RV and just start sprinting? What actually happened? We just don't know. But we do hear him yelling in the background as Deanna turns around, basically, to open the gate. So Yeah, that's pretty exciting. He's probably bringing a horde with him, which is not gonna be good. I'll tell you that much. I would think that Rick would probably try to lose the horde so that it didn't follow him back to Alexandria. But it's a horde; they were already marching that way anyway. It's one guy. It's Rick. He can't do anything. So the best plan would probably to get back home, see if he can defend it, and if not, obviously get his friends and his family out of there. Uh, basically to get back there and warn them. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's the predictions, guys. I don't really have anything else to go on, just other than general predictions and stuff like that. But I do believe the herd will attack. We might actually get to see some of the wolves. Maybe we'll finally get to see the wolf leader. We just don't know. We're obviously going to get to see him at some point, and then obviously we have a lot of things to go through as well, still with the wolves. Obviously, in the original season 6 trailer, rather, we get to see Daryl hung up in the woods with a gun against his head, stuff like that. We have yet to see any of that. He was out there with Aaron, maybe recruiting again. I'm just not sure. But we do get to see that sometimes. So whether or not that'll happen in this episode or in a couple more episodes, like I said, we just don't know. And hopefully we'll definitely get to find out very, very soon. Anyway, that is it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, feel free to hit the video with a like, show it some support, subscribe if you haven't already. And tune in tomorrow for Destiny's Zur Day briefly, and then it's on to Black Ops 3, guys. I'll be posting tons and tons of tip videos on the zombies maps and everything like that tomorrow. I'll be playing some multiplayer as well. I'll definitely be streaming as well. I will try to stream on YouTube. So definitely tune into the YouTube streams and stuff like that. I usually stream on Twitch, but I can stream on YouTube, guys. So I'm definitely most likely going to do that. Try not to get a copyright strike while doing it. That'll be the objective. So anyway, that is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.